What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm talking about 2024's We Live in Time, starring Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, directed by John CROWLEY. And this movie is incredibly emotional, and it was the last film I watched in 2024. I had one movie. I was going to watch Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live movie about how the first episode of Saturday Night Live was, aired and filmed and how it went down. I wanted to see that because that's more of a comedy. I want to see The Substance because I've heard good things about it, but it's kind of a body horror film, I've heard, so I didn't know if I wanted to be creeped out last night. And I ended up falling with this movie because I love Andrew Garfield and I love Florence Pugh so much. And to see them in a relationship together, oof, like it was incredibly touching, and their story is incredibly touching, but also kind of funny, right? Like they meet because she hits him with his Mini Cooper, or with her Mini Cooper, and he's like on his way home, he's like sad, he's getting divorced, he's trying to just like get some orange covered chocolates, which is definitely a British snack. The only thing I didn't like about this movie was the editing of it, but it was at first. At first I was like, it's hard to follow because you start the movie and they're together, and then you cut back to how they met, and then you cut to way in the future when they have kids, and then you cut to maybe 2 months after they met, and then you cut to a little bit before they were married, and then you cut to right after 1 month they met, first time they had dinner, and then you cut to the first time they had sex, and then you cut to the second time they had sex, right? Like this movie is, hot in some sense, but it's more emotional and like sad than anything. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a rom-com. It has funny moments, and it has heartfelt moments, but it's not necessarily a love story. I don't know. This is a hard one for me to narrow down where it would fit in what category, but as far as what it is, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's a very, very good movie, and Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield absolutely kill it, and their chemistry together. Honestly, if stuff came out afterwards saying that they were dating, I would have been like, yeah, I don't deny it. Through the press tour, through everything, their chemistry is so good. And this was the film that Florence Pugh shaved her head for, so like, I was dying, I remember when she did it a couple years ago, I was like, oh my god, she shaved her head? She still looks gorgeous, but like, for what role? I gotta see this movie. And it ended up being this like happy, cute movie with her and Andrew Garfield. I loved it so much. But the ending, right? Like, the ending hits so hard with the editing, right? Because the editing, the way it works, like, you're figuring out where we are, like, timing-wise. And by the time you figure out where you are timing-wise, the movie's credits roll, but you figure it out, like, 2 minutes right before. And then the subtle facial expressions that Andrew Garfield puts on his face, displaying grief, but sadness, but happiness at the same time, and like he's remembering, but he's sad that it's no longer reality, but he's happy it's a memory, and you can see it all on his face, and it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it right now. But as soon as the credits roll and the music starts to play, I had tears in the top of my forehead that hurt because I was holding them in. I didn't just let it happen. And I feel like I would have been weeping like a baby if I sat there through the credits with that sad music playing. Literally, I felt it happening, and I just turned it off. I was like, nope, you're not winning, you're not beating me with that sad music at the end. And then I ended up walking down the hall looking at my roommate, and I'm like, God, I have a headache. And he's like, why? I'm like, I think I should have cried, but I didn't. And he's like, you're a fucking moron. I'm like, I know, but it hurts. But honestly, this movie could have gotten more of a score, but 4 out of 5 stars. It's definitely going to be up high in my best movies of 2024, which should be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. I have my favorite movie that came out in 2024, and then my best movie of 2024, which is, what I think is going to win the Oscar versus what was my favorite things that I watched this year. It'll be a big video coming out, but I watched something like 400 and something movies this year, and like 177 of them were first time watches for me in 2024. So if I'm continuing that pace at all into 2025, God help me, because it was tough to do one movie a day and then posting a video per day as well on top of that. So 2025, I'm going to try and continue daily content. I'm going to try and continue movie content daily, but we're going to go with the flow a little bit in 2025 and see where it takes us, shall we? But comment below your thoughts on this movie. If you haven't seen it, it is available for rent right now on Amazon Prime. That is where I rented it. It was normally like 18 bucks to rent. I think it was only like 6 last night, so maybe that's like the Christmas New Year's sale, but now there's 2025, maybe it's not still on sale, so go see, maybe check it out. You can rent it for cheap. I was trying to hold off and see if it was going to come to streaming, but it hasn't, so I watched it last night for rent. But comment below your thoughts on this movie, your score out of 10. If you have any movie recommendations for me, drop those down in the comment section below. If you'd like to follow my other social medias, links down in the description below. Big Cam, 2G's in the Big, pretty much anywhere, just look for this face. And if you would like to support the channel and support me further, the best way to do that is by liking this video, subscribing if you're new and you haven't already, commenting down in the comment section below, and hitting that bell so you don't miss future videos. Once again, I'm Big Cam. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you beautiful people in the next video. Peace.